is Yun Fei Lung.
And Ilias.
And this is our review for Grand Theft Auto 4. The story of Grand Theft Auto 4 involves Niko, a Russian guy who arrives in Liberty City to live with his cousin Roman. And his cousin Roman has talked up a big game. Apparently he's quite well off. He has a mansion, he has the cars, he has tons of women every night. But unfortunately, that's not exactly true, is it, Ilias?
Nah, he comes to find out that Roman is full of crap.
Not only that, apparently Roman owes a lot of money to some pretty nasty people, so Niko quickly becomes involved in that. Now, the story provides about 30 hours of gameplay, and that doesn't include any of the side missions. There's just so much to do in Liberty City, it's almost ridiculous. But yet, it doesn't ever really feel overwhelming, I don't think.
Yeah, the good thing is that GTA 4 is actually, amazingly, despite the fact that, you know, there's so much to do in it, really I think it's the most accessible Grand Theft Auto since 3. Just because the, missions are so much easier to re-access, and you can just, if you want, you know, you can just play the game's story and totally ignore, you know, the other side stuff. You know, people will call you up and you just be like, yeah, whatever, screw off, man, and just keep doing the mission content if you want, or you can just go off and play bowling for 3 hours, you know.
Getting around is really easy because now you can just like grab a taxi cab and go to a certain waypoint or a certain location, and it makes getting around the massive Liberty City so easy.
Yeah, and you know that's also linked to the you know, the cell phone, and that you can, like, once you get in good with Roman, you can sort of, you know, have him ship you a taxi if you're you know, you're out of the way and, you know, there's no cars or taxis near you.
Now, Liberty City is based off of New York City. The lighting is one of the things that I think make the graphics so impressive. Like, when you go under bridges, you know, you'll see, like, the sunlight reflect off the windows and things like that.
Yeah, you'll see the sunset reflecting off the waters.
It just looks amazing. I mean, for a game like this, it's so big you don't expect these level of graphics, but Grand Theft Auto doesn't shy away from saying, hey, we can look just as good as any other current gen game out there and be just incredibly massive.
GTA is no slouch for being as ridiculously huge as it is. I mean, it isn't the prettiest game out there, but it definitely holds its own against the big boys, to say the least.
The city truly does feel alive, and that's a lot in part because of the AI and stuff like that. The characters talk, they answer cell phones, they interact with you. Traffic changes depending on the time of day, and of course, weather changes. Sometimes it's drizzly, sometimes it's rainy, sometimes it's sunny. The music and backgrounds, they just sound great. Everything really goes together.
And, like, even more than the soundtrack, which, you know, GTA has always had a fantastic soundtrack, and of course this doesn't change it. It's what's always really sort of gotten me about GTA that I've always found brilliant and really has kept me, you know, a fan of it, was this satire, the satirical nature of the game is always just so masterfully done. I mean, my gosh, the comedy in that game is just so over the top. I mean, sometimes it reaches the level of goofy and corny in some bits, but it's always just like even when it does that, it's so over the top that you can't help but laugh and, you know, giggle at it.
So the sound, the music, everything just comes together, and it does nothing but enhance Liberty City. That's been one weak point about Grand Theft Auto for so long. It's gameplay. The driving's always been good, but the actual in-game
shooting mechanics.
Yeah, the shooting mechanics have always been rather weak.
Extremely. I mean, it was always so ridiculous that your dude would be like, I'm gonna, you know, duck out from behind this corner where I've been evading bullets, and I'm gonna stand straight in front of everybody and fire my gun with one arm out, you know, firing my pistol, and just be taking bullets and go, It's like, okay, you guys might want to come up with a better plan. And they did that. They sort of took a page out of the Gears of War book and added that sort of a cover system onto GTA. It's not really an artificial system like say what you have in Mass Effect, which is sort of a half-assed Gears of War sort of cover system. This is like, you know, really interactive. You can literally, you know, put yourself against any flat surface in the game, and, you know, you can use that for cover, and you can peek out from the corners and just shoot off a few shots, or you can even shoot some suppressing fire without actually, you know, sticking your head out and taking full aim at the guy. I really think that this is probably the biggest overall improvement to the game, like just the cover system, straight up. I mean, because the missions are now just way more fun.
Grand Theft Auto is an amazing game, even if you're not going to play it online. The story mode is well worth paying $60 for.
That's all I played.
But the online mode gives it a totally new experience. You access the online mode at any time through your cell phone. You just click on multiplayer and then select a match. And these matches can have up to 16 players. You got modes like deathmatch, team deathmatch, deathmatch, racing, cops and crooks, turf war, bomb to base, and many more. It's just so much fun to get together, whether it's in a team deathmatch or you're just gunning it for yourself. The modes are just awesome, and there's such variety. I mean, it can be kind of a racing game if you want it to be, or it can be kind of a shooter. It's just simply a blast to play. It's amazing to me that they've got it to where you can have 16 people online at once. It's just an amazing technological achievement, and I don't know how they did it, but it works great.
Yeah, and it's worth noting, it isn't like these are closed maps you're playing in. This is literally the whole of Liberty City, like it is open.
You can turn the cops on, you can set how many pedestrians, not like the exact number of pedestrians.
Like low, high, or medium
low,
or something.
High. You can also set it to where there are just certain sections of the city you're in, which makes the action more chaotic. I mean, there are tons of options. It's very customizable.
I mean, I really do not play console games very much anymore. Like, it takes a lot to keep me interested in a console game, just because I'm kind of an MMO addict, and, like, really, I mean, I'm a very story-driven gamer most of the time. You know, I need strong characters and dialogue to keep me interested in what's happening, or else I'm kind of like, yeah, okay. Or just ridiculous action, I guess.
Right.
But I mean, Grand Theft Auto sort of, it ties a lot of that together. Like, it's got the crazy, ridiculous, over-the-top humor. It's got, really good action. It's got fantastic characters, great dialogue, and a good story. So, I mean, I couldn't put it down, man. And that's saying something, because we literally, Yun Fei Lung and I were trading off in the game, like, and be like, okay, when let me know when you're done, because then I'm going to play. And, one of us would play for the next 7 hours.
And keep in mind that we both had the flu while we were playing this game, so we were sick and felt like crap, but we were still like, gotta play it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, it's 4:30. Yeah, I gotta play another hour. Okay, then I'm gonna sleep.
Yeah, so I mean, it's that addicting, and that's just the story mode. The online mode, along with the story mode, pushes it just that extra mile. Like, I mean, it would get a 10 without the online mode.
Right.
But the online mode it's like, wow. I cannot believe that they got that to work so well, and it's just so extravagant and so fun, because I mean, you can just sit down and spend hours just with the online mode, and again, the game's story mode is about 30 hours long, so it's just unbelievable how big this game is. And if you haven't got a next generation system yet, regardless of whether you play it on PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360, it doesn't matter. It's tremendous on either platform.
Whew, man. It is something else. It really is. I mean, I was really, really hardball about Grand Theft Auto going into this. Yun Fei Lung knows.
You were. You were like, oh man, it's just Grand Theft Auto again, basically.
San Andreas really put me down on the series, man. I kind of, I didn't much care for San Andreas.
See, I love San Andreas.
Like, part of it was the theme. I really didn't like the theme and the way it went with the, 90s sort of thug life.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I mean, that was my deal,
Yeah, see, I'm not really into that sort of thing. I enjoyed Vice City and GTA 3 more. But even then, I realized even just running around and chasing the cops, I wasn't having as much fun as I used to. And I really thought Grand Theft Auto needed to evolve. Because if it didn't, I was still going to be bored with it. Prior to that, I was like, I really didn't think this game was going to be all that, despite all the hype going into it. So, I went in skeptically, and it really blew me away, because, I mean, it really has changed. This is not your grandma's Grand Theft Auto game.
No, it's definitely not. It's truly the next generation of Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason it's called Grand Theft Auto 4 instead of Grand Theft Auto
Liberty
3, Liberty City 2 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, really, what more can I say about it than that? It takes everything Grand Theft Auto has done up to this point and makes everything about it better.
There are few video games that truly, truly live up to the hype, but Grand Theft Auto actually surpasses the hype, in my opinion. It's one of those games that just goes out of its way to almost redefine what a 10-star video game should be.
Even if you generally don't like this type of game, you might want to give it a try just to sort of play around in the world, so even if you're questioning, I don't know, Grand Theft Auto's for me, at least, give it a rental.
This has been our review of Grand Theft Auto 4. I'm Yun Fei Lung.
And I'm Ilias.
And we'll see you next time.
There's one thing I've learned. It's that we must obey the rules of the game. We can pick the game Niko Bellic, but we cannot change the rules.